Hello, dear viewers of the FVELC channel. We, like you, are wondering, who will be the killer in the new film of the Scream franchise? In this video, we will remember the villains from the previous parts of the Scream movie and try to speculate who might be the killer in the new installment. We have some interesting and even incredible theories, so if you're interested, be sure to watch this video to the end. And now, let's get started. In the first part of Scream, the killers turned out to be Skeet Ulrich as Billy Loomis and Matthew Lillard as Stu Macher. Billy Loomis wanted to avenge the breakup of his family on Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott, the main heroine of the first 4 parts of the movie, who was innocent in this matter. Stu Macher, the second killer, was a mentally unstable sociopath who succumbed to the influence of his friend. In the second part, Laurie Metcalf, as the mother of Billy Loomis, wanted revenge for his death. She was helped in this by Sidney's friend, Timothy Oliphant, as Mickey Altieri. In the third installment of the franchise, Sidney's stepbrother Roman Bridger, played by Scott Foley, became the killer. In the plot, he was a director who was angry with his mother and wanted to direct not only movies, but also control fates. At the end of the film, we learn that he influenced the actions of the killers in the first film. In the fourth movie, Emma Roberts played the jealous cousin Jill Roberts, who was the killer, and Rory Culkin played the not too bright horror, obsessed Charlie Walker. The fifth installment was a reboot released 11 years after the previous film. In this movie, 2 horror fans, played by Jack Quaid as Richie Kirsch and Mikey Madison as Amber Freeman, find the daughter of the killer from the first film, Melissa Barrera as Sam Carpenter, and try to frame her for a series of murders, thereby altering the events of the film about Sidney Prescott and making the ending more dramatic. In this film, we learn that Sam has a mental disorder and a sister, played by Jenna Ortega as Tara Carpenter. Based on the events of the 5th installment, it may seem that a new and unprecedented plot twist is being prepared. A personality disorder that will reveal the main character as an anti-heroine in Scream 6. This would be a plot twist on the level of Brad Pitt's Tyler Durden from Fight Club or Nicole Kidman's Grace in the Others, which would be very groundbreaking for recent cinema. However, as we watch the trailers for Scream 6, we are becoming less convinced that the screenplay will be so original for this franchise, as this option is made too obvious. Let's take a look at the characters from the trailer and try to guess who has more chances of becoming the next killer. The first character is our beloved Wednesday Addams, played by actress Jenna Ortega. She could become the killer due to her post-traumatic stress disorder, as we saw her angry gaze in the trailer. Although this could also mean she's looking at the killer. It's also worth considering that Ortega's popularity has skyrocketed worldwide, and the creators may decide to take her out of the franchise, as was done with Joey Tribbiani in the past. However, the character can only be taken out of Scream in a spectacular way by making the gorgeous Jenna the new Ghostface. However, we believe that Ortega cannot be the killer, and rather she will become the new Sidney Prescott. Jenna's character went through a similar path, and it's hard to imagine a more suitable actress for promoting such a powerful franchise. In our opinion, this argument cancels out all assumptions of the villainy of this character. The second candidate, Melissa Barrera, is a very impressive actress who is rapidly gaining fame. Her character could be the killer for several reasons: the genes of her evil father, a disturbed psyche, ominous looks in the trailer. She could also be taken out of the franchise for greater drama and to strengthen the main heroine behind Jenna Ortega's actress. But we refuse to believe that Barrera will be the killer, as this character is also very strong and too obviously suspicious in the trailer, and the writers need to surprise the audience. We think the creators will reject this option for 2-3 of the movie, before the resolution. The third character, Courteney Cox, is the most historically significant in the franchise, having repeatedly demonstrated her level-headedness despite the fact that in the first 2 parts, Gale Weathers seemed to be an unstable and inadequate person at times. Plus, in the trailer, we see scenes that send shivers down the spine, and surviving in such a situation can only be done with the help of the Almighty, or if the killer spares Courtney for something more global and horrific, which could later become the killer's mistake. However, we are inclined to believe that the screenwriters had prepared a fate for Dewey Riley, David Arquette's role, well before the end of the film. And considering that this part of Scream will be longer than the others, we anticipate that we will see many more stunning surprises. Our verdict: it is unlikely that Gale will become the killer. We would like to mention the supporting characters separately. The dark horse, Dermot Mulroney, could have played a strong antagonist given his acting experience, but in the trailer, looking at the expression on his face, it seems that Kill Me in the second act is written on his forehead. The lovely actress, Liana Liberato, portrayed fear while alone in a room. She had no one to portray this for, so we fear that this character will be among the first to die. The beautiful Jasmine Savoy, Brown, and Mason Gooding are more likely to be the handy killers, considering the history of their characters in the previous part. Also, in the trailer, we notice the actress with strong potential, Samara Weaving. She did an excellent job as a prankster in The Babysitter, but what we saw in the trailer and the amount of time allotted to her and the amount allotted to her in the runtime makes us doubt that she will be the main anti-heroine. If Weaving survives in this part of Scream, we would assume that she could cause a lot of mischief in subsequent parts. But for now, we are putting her candidacy on hold, despite the fact that she is a more convincing candidate than Savoy and Gooding. Tony Revolori, the handsome actor who starred in the Grand Budapest Hotel and kept Spider-Man company, in our opinion, would have added a strong contrast by helping the villain in Scream 6. However, considering modern trends and agendas, we are confident that the screenwriters have emphasized other candidates. Jack Champion. After seeing him in Avatar 2, we understand that such an actor could play the villain in any movie. But at the same time, he does not have enough canonical weight for such a type. We can hardly believe that the anti-hero will not have a connection to previous or even earlier parts, like the character played by Hayden Panettiere. She, at least, is no less suitable for the role of a maniac. We suppose that in the era of feminism, Jasmine Savoy could be her assistant. In the trailer, we saw their sympathy, and as for the scenes where Savoy's character was in direct danger, it could all be a spectacle for onlookers and provide Jasmine with an alibi at the time of the crimes. Devin Nakota and Josh Segarra are also very attractive and status actors for the role of a killer, but we are betting on Hayden. What do you think about the main killer in Scream 6? Will he have assistants? Will he be a famous actor? And will he be connected to previous parts? Write your opinion in the comments, and we will be happy to check all the hypotheses after watching the movie. Maybe we'll even make a new video analyzing theories after the premiere, but for that, the video must have at least 100 likes. Subscribe and share with friends. Let's all speculate about new movies together.